Welcome to Truly Force-Free Animal Training. And today I just want to give you a little tip about training your dog. So this is a question I've been getting a lot, and I get a lot all the time. When people expect their dogs, we'll just say sit because it's the most common behavior people teach their dog. They don't understand why dogs don't sit instantly. Maybe they've taught it for 4 days and they don't understand why it's perfect. They say, oh, well, they know what it means. Well, knowing what it means in lots of environments is meaning they're fluent. And fluency is hard for humans sometimes to understand of why dogs don't get fluent faster. So an analogy I like to use is driving a stick shift. So hopefully you know what a stick shift is in a car, where it's not automatic. So if you're young and you don't know, ask your parents what a stick shift is. But for a stick shift, when you're driving a stick shift car, you have to push the gas and alternate the clutch and the gas at the same time while changing your gear. So when you are first learning how to drive a stick shift, it is so much brain work. You have to think about how much to release the clutch while you're pushing your gas and to push the clutch in while you're changing gears. There are a lot of moving parts while you're driving a stick shift. At the same time, you are steering your car, trying to know where you're going. You need to be paying attention to traffic. It is a lot of information. So when you're first driving a stick shift, you have to focus really hard on just your feet and your hands and looking where you're going. So you're going to start somewhere really easy, like a big parking lot or something, where you're less likely to hit something or hurt something. So fluency is when you get to the place where you can drive that stick shift. And you can be on a freeway, you can be talking to friends, you can be in a lot of traffic, but you can't go from the parking lot to a really busy freeway without having a lot of practice. So for dogs, when they're learning any behavior, you have to go through all those steps. So when they're first learning even a basic behavior like sit, you have to practice it in low distracting environments, and then you gradually increase the distraction and you gradually increase the varying situations of it. So sit at first might be when you're standing up, but then you might sit in a chair and ask your dog to sit because that's going to look different and they have to think about it more. So just because for us sit means sit, especially if it's our first language and it's something we probably learned when we were tiny, of course we understand what sit is, but we have to give our dogs the chance to really process and learn exactly what that means. So fluency, if you're trying to figure out if your dog is fluent in something, try to think about this. If you're learning a skill like driving a stick shift that's very complicated and has lots of moving parts, when you get to the place where you can do it without thinking, that is fluency. And that's where we want all of our dogs' behaviors to get to if we can get them there, because it's easier. That is when you see a dog that you say sit and they just sit. You say down and they just down. And they don't think about it. It's more of a reflex. So fluency is basically getting your behaviors to almost a reflex level, but your brain takes those time to learn. And just like humans, some dogs will learn things much faster than others. There are some people who never learn to drive a stick shift because it's too difficult and too many moving parts. Maybe they don't have the time to practice it. They don't have the accessibility to practice it. Maybe you've never had a stick shift. So it's a lot harder to learn something that you don't have the opportunity to practice over and over and over. So that is just my little tip on fluency, because I get it asked a lot, and when people don't understand, they've been training a dog for 1 week and they don't understand why they can't do that behavior perfectly in every environment. It's just because they need more time, and their brain needs more time to really understand what you are asking. So I hope this little analogy helps you understand why your dog may or may not be fluent right now and how you can get there in the future. So I hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.